Hello, everyone, and welcome to our special live stream class on how to activate your clarity and focus with flower essences and essential oils. We're so excited to have all of you. So let us know where you're from. Put it in the comments and make sure that you agree to the StreamYard in the Facebook groups because we are live streaming through two different Facebook groups and on YouTube. So we're very excited to have you. So please make sure that you put in the comments where you're from. And that way we can give a big shout out to you because we've got people coming on now. We want to make sure everyone gets on and sees us in the Facebook groups and on our YouTube channel. And it looks like we've got quite a few coming on now, so that's great. Can't wait to share this information with all of you. So let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen here with all of you so you can see this very interesting information. So today we're going to be talking about how to activate focus and clarity with flower essences and essential oils. Transform your inability to concentrate, easily be distracted, and scattered activity into mindful clarity for sustained concentration into healthy productivity. So many people suffer from not being able to be clear and then focus. And we're going to talk today about the reasons why. And so that maybe if this is happening to you or someone in your family, maybe this can shine some light onto the situation and pull you out of that darkness. So that way you will know what flower essences and what essential oils that can help you, a family member, or your clients. Because a lot of you that we work with are practitioners. In fact, 99% of you are that we work with are practitioners. So we want to be able to help you help your clients, friends, family, and yourself. I'm your master instructor today. My name is Lori Hargis. I'm a registered aromatherapist, and I have been in the natural health field for over 35 years. And we base all of our information on scientific research and ancient teachings. This is the Lori method. We also use olfactory medicine, flower and plant healing, breath work, brain, heart, and gut health. We connect all the bodies with our work that we and with the Lori method and how we teach you how to do that. And we're going to show you how we're using the Lori method throughout this class, our master class, and also with our case study today that we have from one of our students. Incorporating mental and emotional wellness to develop self-confidence and knowledge. We feel in the Lori Hargis International School of Aromatherapy that mental and emotional wellness is first. And when we have good mental health and we feel good, we then have more chance of having a healthy body. Movement and massage, we believe that we have to move in our life to make changes. It's not just about sitting around and just, meditating all day. It's also about movement and massage. We teach that. We also teach meditation, formulation, storytelling, learn how to direct your energy to be active, radiant, and giving. And today we'll be having a special sound healing on peppermint because this whole month we've been sending you emails and making posts about peppermint essential oil and peppermint flower essence. So, how many of you feel unclear and unfocused? Put it in the comments to Ruth. And Ruth just sent me a message and said it's not showing up in the master class. So, how many of you feel unclear and unfocused? Let us know. Yesterday, I sent out this in an email. This is a video that I did, and it's called Do You Do This Before You Place Your Feet on the Floor? This is a daily exercise that you can do before you get up in the morning, and it's using peppermint essential oil and peppermint flower essence. And we really want you guys to watch this, check it out, and start doing it. It's deep breathing using your peppermint essential oil and peppermint flower essence. Have it right there beside on your nightstand so that way you can use these things to help you before you even get up. Start focusing, concentrating. That way you're not scattered and muddled. So let's see what Ruth has to say here. Let's see if she says that we can, if it's in the masterclass group. Ruth, is it in the masterclass group yet? Please let me know in our chat together. So there are some things that symptoms that I'd like to know if you're suffering from. And being unable to remember things that occurred a short time ago. Mark that in the comments if and write it down if you are unable to remember things that occurred a short time ago. Also, do you have difficulty sitting still? Mark that down if you have difficulty sitting still. Difficulty thinking clearly. And frequently losing things or having difficulty remembering where things are. Mark that down. Inability to make decisions. Inability to perform complicated tasks and lack of focus. It looks like we're not in one of our groups today, which is very odd. And I don't know why. So we're just going to have to go on and continue. And Ruth, uh, if you can send everyone a message in that group and have them go to YouTube or go to our other Facebook group, that would be great. So let's go on. Inability to make decisions. This is where, you're always on the fence. Oh, should I stay or should I go? And a lot of times, if it's a barbed wire fence, we can get cut because we don't make a decision. And then we lose opportunities, don't we? Inability to perform complicated tasks, lack of focus. So sometimes you've got a lot of things to do, or you've got a complicated thing to do. Maybe it's something on the internet, maybe you're working on your social security or whatever it could be, a certain bill or something with the bank. And it's quite complicated for you to get through all the steps. And you're having difficulties. With flower essences and essential oils, they can be a real help to you with this. Lack of focus. That's what can happen, right? Especially nowadays, we see it. People have lack of focus and concentration because we're always on these phones here, these phones, our computers. And so we can just scroll, right? We can go on YouTube and we can scroll. We can go on Facebook, we can scroll. We can go on Instagram, we can scroll. We can go to LinkedIn. We can go to any platform and just scroll and not focus. All this information is coming at you. All these people are giving you all this information. And oh well, you just scroll through it. No one People don't focus. It nowadays when you teach something, people their mind goes somewhere else very fast because of these. And so this is where we have to have some discipline within ourselves, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And there's certain flower essences that can help you with that, believe it or not, which is fantastic, right? Lacking physical or mental energy to concentrate. So it's like, oh, you're sluggish, I don't think I can focus on this right now. I'm just so exhausted. It's usually because you're mentally exhausted, then you become physically exhausted. Making careless mistakes. You just go through things. It's kind of like the scrolling thing. Oh, I'll just do this. And you don't pay attention. Harder to concentrate at certain times of the day or in certain settings. You know, there was many yogis could sit in a city and flies would attack them and other things and people speak to them and they would still stay in their position, their posture, and be doing their meditation. Now it's like, you know, or like just like this. So this is something that we have to recognize too and see those times a day when we're not concentrating. Maybe those are the times a day that we need to be moving instead of trying to concentrate if it's possible, you know, especially if you're working from home or you have a job that's very flexible. If you could go out and take your break and go for a little 15-minute walk, then come back and focus and concentrate. Others may comment that you appear distracted. You're always on your phone or you're always calling someone and you're at dinner and you're on your phone and everybody else is trying to have a conversation and they're making that comment to you. You're always distracted. You're always on your phone. And miss appointments or meetings because lack of focus. You miss an appointment because you didn't put it in your reminders, which is really a great thing to do with an alarm. And you maybe got on to something else. You got distracted. Maybe you started washing your dishes. Oh, I've got to put a load of laundry in before I take off. Or, oh, I don't really like this top now. And I'm going to go change it. And then it makes you late. You feel like you're in a fog, which is called brain fog. So let's see if there's any comments because we've had this situation in our master class about this or not. Ruth, if there are any comments in one of the groups about this. I'm going to give Ruth a few seconds here to reply to me. Now, also, there's mental health challenges that can cause you to be unfocused. And it's very important that we realize this, we're honest about it, and we understand, or we go to a therapist and we get help for this type of thing. There's many different forms of therapy that you can do for these different mental health challenges. Okay, so Ruth said yes, people are agreeing, and we have one person that says she sees this in her grandchildren. So thank you for sharing. So our first mental health challenge is ADHD. It's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects focus and attention. Individuals with ADHD may have trouble focusing on tasks, easily get distracted, and may struggle with impulsiveness and hyperactivity. And could be one of the causes. It's not always the cause. It can be caused by birth trauma or childhood trauma. And we really don't um, know exactly with birth trauma, but we have seen it. And we suggest that if people have had a birth trauma, that they work on that with a therapist and they go see a cranial sacral therapist, especially if they were born cesarean section. Because when you come out of that birth canal, what happens is the pressure there, and when you come out, then when those all the brain in here gets ignited through the cranial, and in a C-section that doesn't happen. So this is the reason why we're talking about birth trauma. Also, if a child was, they used a suction cup on the head to pull to get the baby out of the birth canal, then that also can cause this type of birth trauma and can lead to attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Now, it's not always this way for everybody. You can see it. I've seen it with babies who were born cesarean. You could see it just when they were babies that they were going to be, they were different than the other children that I had worked with. So this is just something that I have noticed and seen in my practice. It's not always the case. Another mental health challenge is depression. It's a mood disorder that can significantly impact focus and motivation. Individuals with depression may have trouble finding joy in activities they once enjoyed and may struggle with feelings of sadness and hopelessness. Depression can make it difficult to concentrate and stay motivated, leading to a lack of focus and decreased productivity. Now, if you're feeling depressed, please seek out a therapist or your minister, because get help as soon as possible. You don't want to go down the rabbit hole. And we've got flower essences that can help you with that, and essential oils too. But this is not a class on depression. We've done classes like that before, and we'll probably do more again on that. So just be aware of that, especially if you're a practitioner and you're taking in your client history for your clients and looking at and asking them these questions and seeing what they're saying to you. Generalized anxiety disorder. It's a type of anxiety disorder that involves excessive, persistent worry and fear. Either they're worrying about the future, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have enough money, when I'm old, or they're talking about, they're anxious about the past, of what happened in the past, and they're fearful. So it's worry and fear. Oh, I'm fearful I'm not going to have enough money. And it goes over and over and over in the mind. And then this affects the nervous system and causes the person to be very stressed. And therefore, they can't focus. They can't concentrate on task because they're either in the past or in their future and they're not present. And we're going to really talk about being present today, being embodied, how important that is. Then we have post-traumatic stress disorder. And it's a mental health condition that can develop after experiencing or witnessing a traumatic event. Now, this can happen with veteran who have been in the war. Also, they have seen in brains of people who have been sexually abused. Their brain is very similar to a soldier who has been in war, what they've been through. Got to remember that sexual abuse is physical abuse too. So there's two things going on there. And usually there's three things, because it's mental, sexual, and physical. So this is the reason why it really puts people who have had sexual abuse into PTSD. And they might not even realize they have PTSD. They may struggle with symptoms such as intrusive thoughts, flashbacks, difficulty sleeping, which can impact focus and attention. So let's see here what Ruth is saying here. Anybody has any comments? So, Deborah said, I don't know if any of my herb people have that problem, but I could mention a solution in case they know someone who is having that problem. Great. Okay, this is just some of the different things that I mentioned before, Ruth said. All right. So let's look at these factors that could have caused you not to be able to focus and be clear in your mind. There is always prenatal risk, such as alcohol, smoking, and substances. Now, we've always focused in on the mother because she's carrying the child for 9 months. What she puts in her body affects the baby, what she's thinking, who she's around, if there's any abuse that she's taking. It all goes into that fetus, that newborn. However, we're seeing now things where fathers, and it totally makes sense, if the father was a drinker, if he was an alcoholic, if he was smoking, or if he was using drugs, it will affect the child too. And it totally makes sense. I mean, I was in agriculture and animal science in university. And so, the bull and the cow, they both made that baby. So we've got to realize too that it comes from both parents. Again, birth trauma and C-sections, as I discussed before. Head injuries. We're talking again about head injuries. When we've had a head injury, it affects our brain, it affects our focus and our clarity. So if you've fallen a lot, if you've been bucked off horses a lot, if you have fallen from ladders during work, or you've fallen down a hill or a mountain, you've landed on rocks. There are so many ways and so many different ways to have a head injury. So, make sure you get help for that and rehabilitation. Then we have we have childhood trauma. And childhood trauma is, it can be, again, physical abuse, emotional and mental abuse, sexual abuse. These can affect us where we can't focus. And a lot of times, those things are suppressed. And if you haven't talked to someone about it, you haven't got help for it, and it's suppressed, and you don't even realize you're in a fog. You just are always in a fog. You can't get clear. You can't get focused. And this is why in our emotional healing, we do storytelling, because we know we can't change the past, but we can make it better through storytelling. And we also can see it from different perspectives so we can get through it and go on, so we can be clear, we can focus. As we discussed before, post-traumatic syndrome, PTSD. This is very important, again, to talk to your family members or to your clients, or think about the times that you've had that and wonder why you can't focus. And we're going to help you get through that. Then look at the environmental situations, such as lead and other pollutant exposure. I mean, you can take just Flint, Michigan, and look at the exposure to bad water that is still going on there to this day. To this day, I don't understand that. I can't believe it, in fact. You've got places in Mississippi, you've got places all over the world that the water is so bad. People are drinking bad water. And so of course, they can't focus and concentrate. How could you? Genetics. If someone in the family has had ADHD, or maybe it's on both the sides of the family, you know, or depression or anxiety. These type of things are passed on. And so we need to look at our family history. And at you as practitioners, you need to always look at the family history of the family to find out if there's any generational trauma there that your client is carrying and that's causing them not to be focused. Nutritional deficiencies. This happens a lot. And I've noticed that a lot of times when people have mental health challenges, they're fed the worst food, which does not make sense at all. So make sure that you are eating vegetables, fruits, good protein, organic foods, foods that don't have pesticides and herbicides and chemicals in them. Do your best for that, because nutritional deficiencies will cause you to be unfocused and unclear. Gut health. Remember, what is going on in our gut is affecting our heart and our brain. So it is our second brain there. In fact, it could be the primary brain for all we know now. Our gut health is so important. Before we didn't have all the antibiotics, of course, more people were dying from infections. Now that we have antibiotics and their overuse of them, anytime people get a little cold, they run and get an antibiotic. It destroys your gut bacteria. And what happens is then this doesn't function well. The brain doesn't function well because of that, because you don't have enough good bacteria in your gut. Substance abuse. Anytime you are abusing any form of substance, alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs, you are affecting your body physically. You are depleting yourself. You're going into nutritional deficiencies and you are affecting your gut health. And then you can't think clearly. Pharmaceutical medications. Please check all your pharmaceutical medications that you're taking to make sure there's no contraindications for your mind brain. This is really important. So let's see here. We have a message from our YouTube. She said, Sherry says, thank you, Lori, for the great breakdown of different types. Never thought about the birth process. Excellent information to ask questions. Yes, this is important that we ask these type of questions to our clients when we are working with them. This is very, very important. Now, I always ask people about if they had any birth trauma, if their mother explained anything to them or discussed that with them and how they were born. Because it is our beginning. Our beginning is conception, our conception. And then when we are in our gestation with our mother and what's going on with her mentally, emotionally, and physically, what she's eating, what she's putting in her body, and then our birth, and then our postnatal care. And then, of course, our whole, childhood as we're growing up. But you've got to get that in there when you're a therapist. You've got to talk about those things. So it's really important today that you take the quiz because you get a chance to win my book. And we're going to give away 10 books today. Also, you can book your free 30-minute individual flower essence session with Ruth or I. Now, Ruth is an expert in Bach flower remedies, and I'm a flower essence practitioner. And she has over 25 years, no, close, more than that. She's got about 27 years with Bach flowers, and I have over 30 years with flower essences. That's Bach Flowers, California Essences. So you can have a free 30-minute individual call with either of us. And so please, Ruth is going to put that in our comments. She's where you guys can get signed up for that. We'll also send you an email so you guys can sign up for that too. It's important for you to understand flower essences and how they can really help you. And so today we're going to give you some information on how they can do that for you. Then we have a special offer when you sign up for our Flower Essence course 2024, which we're so excited about. Last year was our first course, and this will be our second year. And oh, we had such a wonderful time, the students and I and Ruth and Sue. And then at the end, you can ask us any questions that you have. So today you will learn what are the 4 signs that you are not clear and focused. What is a flower essence? What are the flower essences for clarity and focus? How to transform your inability to focus, easily distracted and splintered activity into mindful clarity for sustained concentration into healthy productivity. Then we're going to have our peppermint flower sound healing meditation. So please make sure how many of you guys brought your peppermint essential oil and flower essence. Please make sure that you have that ready for our peppermint flower sound healing meditation. Then after that, we're going to talk about essential oils. What is an essential oil and what are the essential oils to help you clear your mind when focusing? Then we'll have a case study presentation using vetiver essential oil for mental focus by Natalie Petrasco von Hornia. And she's a certified aromatherapist from the Lori Hargis International School of Aromatherapy. And then we have our flower essence and essential oil blend for clarity and focus. And of course, we'll have our quiz after that. And we'll can continue your emotional wellness journey and the quiz. And then, of course, questions. So make sure you stay tuned so that way you can get a book, because my book talks about flower essences, talks about essential oils, and also Chinese herbs. So the 4 signs of not being able to focus is disembodied. So disembodiment means that you are not present in your body. You are not here. You are not grounded. And a lot of times this comes from trauma, most of the time. So it could be a birth trauma. It could be a childhood trauma. It could be a trauma now. It could be an accident. It could be something that you saw that was traumatic to you. And this can cause disembodiment and where you can't be present. It's too much for you to be in here and you can't be present. So then what happens is you can become very confused. You can't focus at all. You're just confused. You're like you're in a fog. And then you become distracted very easily. And when we're not present, when we are not clear, when we're confused, when we're looking off here, looking for this, looking for that, what happens is we become sluggish because we're off in too many different directions. So we mentally and physically become sluggish. When you're off like in this, and then you procrastinate, and this goes into procrastination. This goes where you can't get anything done. And then the whole thing starts over the next day. And your sink is full of dishes. Your house is a mess. You can't get your bills paid. There's just a lot of situations like this. And so today we're going to talk about the flower essences and the essential oils that are going to help you with these 4 signs of not being able to focus and be clear. But first of all, we always have to tell you what is an essential oil and what is a flower essence. So we can't go into all the details today because this is just a 1-day class. about flower essences. That's why it's important for you to either be in our flower essence course or our flower essence practitioner program. Because to really be able to make your own flower essences, to really understand them, and how to truly build good formulations for your clients, you need to take the course. So flower essences are liquid potentized preparations, each carrying a distinct imprint of the character of a particular flower. Now, flower essences, because you take a bowl of purified water, spring water, and you put your flowers into that when they're perfectly in perfect bloom. You put them into your water, and the sun infuses their hologram, their imprint into that water. And then what you do is you take the same amount of alcohol to water and you make your mother tincture. And then you dilute it down into your stock tincture, into your dosage tincture. And we teach all this in our class, and you'll make a flower essence with us at our flower essence retreat on May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Now, they work this hologram this flower has made in this water, then works on your energy field, is how it works. So we work out here with flower essences first in the energy field and in our bodies that we have out here. And the person who did this was Dr. Bach, and he did this in the 1930s. He had been a homeopathic doctor and a surgeon. After World War I, he became very ill, and they did surgery on him. He overcame it because, like he said, I knew I had a purpose in life. And then he found that no matter if he took someone's gallbladder out, they still were angry. They still were holding resentment. They got the gallbladder out, but they still were holding on to the emotional and mental situations that caused them to have their gallbladder not to function properly. They went into a diseased state. So he said, I've got to do something different. I've got to go out in nature and find plants, something, because he was already working on homeopathics, right? He was one of the first ones to make a nozoid homeopathic for the gut, the bacteria in the gut. So he was searching for, and he realized that flowers were the soul of the plant. And they could help people on a soul level, so they could find their purpose and be who they really were meant to be, in their work here on this earth. So he was the founder of Flower Essences, Dr. Bach. And now let's look at some of the flower essences for clarity and focus. And I love this first one, Media. I have used, she is such a beauty, isn't she? I call it a she, but as we look at this beautiful flower here and we see how separated the petals are, it gives us an indication of what it is for. Because scattered, and look at the petals, how they're more opened up. But then it pulls you together in the center where the flowerets are and draws you in with this little orangish red color, doesn't it? Into the center of it. So we know what it does is it brings you in to concentrate and focus. That's what this flower does. Our next one is Peppermint. It's when you're feeling sluggish mentally as well as having a slow metabolism. And you wonder why, if you have a slow metabolism, you wonder why you feel lethargic. You can't get things done. You have mental depletion. Peppermint flower essence can help you with that. Then we have rabbit brush. Rabbit brush is this beautiful yellow flower on a brush, right? And it's when you're overwhelmed by details. You've got so many things that you need to get done. Maybe you're planning a wedding for your daughter and you've got all these things that you need to think about, but you just can't see the big picture and see the details at the same time. And that's what rabbit brush does. It helps you see the big picture while simultaneously seeing the details. So I use this one a lot. In fact, all these flower essences, I could say I probably use them once a month when I'm working on a project or when I'm teaching a class because they really help you focus and concentrate. Then we have our beautiful chamomile. And this is German chamomile. It's the one that grows taller, where, Roman chamomile grows closer to the ground and spreads out more. And this is when you become easily upset, moody, and irritable. Inability to release emotional tension, especially in the stomach or solar plexus. And when you can't focus and you're not clear, usually you become moody and you get upset easily because you're frustrated, aren't you? So this one is a beautiful one to use. And I want to give you a quick little story about one of my clients who used it. She had never drank chamomile tea in her life. She didn't even know what chamomile looked like. So she came in for consultation. I gave her chamomile flower essence, and I just gave her the single one. So she took it before she left, 4 drops under her tongue, and then she took it 4 drops under her tongue before she went to sleep that night. She calls me early the next morning and she says, Lori, is chamomile a white petal flower with a yellow center? And I said, yes, it is. She goes, oh my goodness, last night in my dream, I was like a bee. I was going in and out of the center of this flower. And she says, the more I did it, the more relaxed I got. And she's, I woke up so rested and feeling so good. And I just wanted to thank you for that. So we can see how it really releases the stress and tension and really can help you with a sunny disposition. And if we can relieve some of the stress and tension, then we can focus and be clear. Our next one is Cosmos. Cosmos flower essence is a beautiful flower, this beautiful pink flower. I'm sure you guys have seen it in late spring, through summer, late summer. Depends on where you live, how often it blooms. But it's it's got a very airy type of a leaf. But what it does is it brings you back also to focus in and helps you when you communicate. So it's like, you're thinking about something and you want to tell someone something, but it's there in your brain, but you can't get the words out. So you're using a lot of just ands and things like that because the words aren't coming out into your mouth fast enough. And a lot of times it's because you've got so much information here and you're so excited to share it that it just doesn't come out to the people that you're communicating with. You're just overwhelmed. This can be good for stuttering. This can be good for when you're going to be doing presentations, when your clients are going to come in and you need to really be focused on them and give them the information clearly and effectively. It's also good if you're writing information to get that information from your brain and onto the paper. So think about how you can use Cosmos with your clients and yourself. It's great for stuttering too. My son used this with lavender a lot. So here we have beautiful self-heal. I love how it comes up and it's got all the little flowers, pinkish flowers coming up the sides of it, like a beautiful column of flowers, right? And this is the reason why I chose this to help you have clarity and focus is because a lot of times we want to blame someone else or another situation for the reason the way we are. And, if we do know it's from trauma that's happened to us, maybe it was our birth trauma, it was the doctor, maybe it was, we were molested, whatever it is, we still have to be responsible for ourselves. Otherwise, we're going to get stuck in that and we can't get out of it. And it's like we're in that rabbit hole and we just can't pull ourselves out. So, self-heal helps you take responsibility for yourself and gives you that spiritual motivation for wellness and helps you be responsible for you. So you're not looking to, 10 different doctors, 10 different therapists. Oh, what do you think? Oh, what do you think? Oh, what do you think? It's good to get information, but you've got to stay focused on your health and well being. And if you're in a program with anybody, stay focused in that program. Otherwise, again, you're scattered, you see, and it's more difficult to become well. And in all my formulations that I give out to people, unless they just take a single one, I always put self in there, self heal in there. And in my class, you're going to learn what flower essences are anchors in flower essence formulations, what they do, how to use certain flower essences in certain situations. Yes, you can buy the book, you can look at the stuff, but to really learn how to work with them and use them, you need to be in our course. Now let's look at rosemary. This beautiful violet bluish flower. And rosemary right now in California is blooming. And when I left in France, rosemary in the south of France where I live, it was blooming there too. And, it can bloom in the winter, rosemary, depending on your, location, especially here in California and in the south of France and like in Spain. This is for forgetfulness or poor learning ability. It's where you're loosely incarnated in your body. A lot of times people who are loosely incarnated in their body have cold hands and feet all the time. They're never warm, even when they're in a warm room or they're in a warm bed. They're always cold. Usually they're not completely present in their body. So they don't have that warmth going on. And it can happen from traumatic out of body experiences. So, what it helps you do is incarnate into your body and really be present. That's what rosemary helps you do. So, we're going to go through each one of these 4 signs of not being focused and clear with the flower essences. Okay. So, our flower essence healing with the Lori method for disembodiment. We have rosemary for healthy embodiment with physical warmth. We have chamomile for serenity with energy flowing through our stomach and solar plexus properly. A lot of times people have stomach aches and they say, I just can't stomach that. That's the kind of words they say, or that makes me want to throw up. And when you have clients who speak to you like that, or you're saying those words, think about what's going on with you. Is your energy flowing through your solar plexus? Are you digesting your food well? So chamomile really helps you with that. It gets that energy flowing through that vagus nerve there, into that gut, through the stomach, into the gut. If you have a hiatal hernia, chamomile flower essence is a great one for that too, because that means you're holding things here. Either you've had a physical situation that's happened, but usually hiatal hernias, 90% of the time are from emotional, not dealing with your emotions. Things get stuck in there. So these two flower essences help disembodiment, help you be fully present with warmth and vitality. Our next flower essence healing is for confusion, when you're confused. And peppermint flower essence is for wakeful clarity and warm balance and metabolism. Because a lot of times what happens is if you have a very slow metabolism, then you don't think clearly in your mind because your body's just trying to digest. You can't think clearly. I mean, when you eat food, of course, your energy goes there to break it down. But if your metabolism is even slower, then it's hard for you to think. So think about that. Are you not able to digest your food well and think clearly at the same time? Peppermint flower essence can be very helpful for you. Rosemary for increased mental vitality. Chamomile for letting go of tension in the stomach and solar plexus. So that way you can be calm and clear. If you're confused, you're not calm and clear. You can't be calmly confused. There's no way. So what the goal is through these flower essences is to get you to be in your body, and then calm yourself down. Once you're in your body, be calm and then be clear. So let's look at the flower essence healing for when you are distracted. The first one is media, okay? And how many of you, I'm going to go here. How many of you feel like that you are unfocused? Let Ruth know. Let Ruth know. Because media, remember I said media, its little petals are out from it, but the flowerets pull you in, and those little orangish red ends of the petals also draw you into the center so you can have precise thinking and stay focused. Then we have rabbit brush, attention to detail as well as the big picture. And cosmos, integration of thinking and speech. So that way you have integrated, precise thinking with attention to details. So you don't let all the details overwhelm you. How many of you ever get stuck in the details? You go down the rabbit hole. That has happened a lot to a lot of people. I know I've went down the rabbit hole. Like, just let's give an example. You want to get rid of you're going through old stuff and you want to get rid of it. And then all of a sudden you go down the rabbit hole with this, because this takes you down memory lane of this and this takes you down memory lane of that. That a lot of times is what happened. You can't see all the details and, oh, I've got to get this done because I want to give these things away to charity, you know? So you get stuck in that. And you just keep, oh, memory lane, oh, I don't think I can give it away, oh, this, oh, that, this type of thing. And it's usually trauma that has caused you to have this. And that's why we want to help you with flower essences and essential oils so that way you can integrate your thinking and your speech, like with Cosmos. That's what it does. It integrates your thinking and your speech. So that way, if someone's speaking to you, you don't just say something off the wall. You know, you're really present, you're really there, and your thinking and your communication are all working together. Okay. And so this is our last flower essence healing for sluggishness. That way we can be focused and have clarity. Self heal, acceptance of taking full responsibility for one's life situation. Chamomile, sunlight disposition, emotional balance. Media, discipline, focus, and concentration. Rabbit brush, lively, alert mind, acute sensory perception, and flexible state of mind. Anytime we're going to see all the details, our mind has to be flexible. We can't get stuck in something. Or one day I was working on a project with someone and they just couldn't, they had to stay in that one thing. And they couldn't work with the other person and I. We had already done three things and this one person was stuck on that, and we told that person that's not going to work. It's okay. Don't get stuck in that. But they couldn't get themselves out of it. And rabbit brush would have been a great flower essence if we had had it at the time on this project. Rosemary is for mental vitality with healthy embodiment. Remember, it's about having warm hands and feet and really being in here. Cosmos for clever, lively, and quick communication when writing and speaking. So that way you can communicate and be integrated with your communication and your thinking. Peppermint, my mental vitality with a clear, cool head and warm metabolism. If you're all frustrated in your mind, you get angry, don't you? You're not cool-headed. And that's what peppermint flower essence does. It cools your head down and warms your metabolism. Because, peppermint, even the essential oil, it has this ability to cool you down, but it also has the ability to warm you up. So clarity and focus and clarity is what we want you to have with our flower essences. All right. So let's see what Ruth says here. Okay. And now we're going to have our peppermint sound healing. And our sound healing, what we'll do is we're going to do some breath work. We're going to take 3 deep breaths together. How many of you guys have your peppermint flower essence and your peppermint essential oil? Let us know. And then we're going to be connecting all our bodies by listening to the music. That's what sound does. It helps you connect all your bodies. That means your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual bodies that we have. And also, this is going to help your brain, heart, and gut health by listening to the music, by doing your breath work. Because when you breathe deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth, you are connecting your brain, heart, and gut. Okay, so let's take 3 deep. First of all, grab your peppermint essential oil, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths. Okay, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Here we go. Now take a short sniff of your peppermint essential oil. Just to open it up, take a short sniff, and then take 4 drops of your peppermint flower essence under your tongue. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on our peppermint flower essence sound healing. So make sure you either sit up in a comfortable position or lie down in a comfortable position. And this is just about 3.5 minutes. We want you to relax and let go. Let the earth, let your mat support your back if you're lying down. Otherwise, sit up straight and relax your body. So lie down or sit up straight and take in the energy and the healing of peppermint flower essence and essential oil. Okay, now slowly, if you're lying down, slowly turn your ankles and your wrists. If you're sitting up, you can turn your ankles and your wrists too. Slowly come up, open your eyes, and let us know how you felt in this sound healing. Let Ruth know. Okay, she's going to let me know here in a second. I absolutely feel great when I hear that music. It really, oh, I can see your things. Okay, now, calm and relax mind and body. Wonderful. I see it. Okay. Thank you guys for sharing that. I appreciate. No, one person said no difference, did not need focus help. Well, great. Everybody's different, right? But hopefully you guys you can share this. This is public on our YouTube channel, so if you want to share it with any of your friends or family members or your clients who need focus and concentration and relaxation, please feel free to share it with them. That's why we develop this information and give it out, is for you to help others. Okay, so Sherry has asked for a flower essence discovery session, Ruth. So if you can send her that link. Uh, if you don't see it in the offering, Sherry, just pick a 30-minute call with us. If it doesn't say flower essence on it, just pick a call with us and we'll gladly, you can pick Ruth or I. Thank you so much. Okay, Ruth, let me know. Can you guys see my screen now? And yes, that's a good question. There is a direct link to the music. It is on our YouTube channel. So you can go to our YouTube channel and we will send it out in out with the recording to you. It will be on our site. It will be posted up with a link to that and all of the slides and the recording. Ruth will have that up for you tomorrow. And let's continue on with our healing. Now we're going to go to essential oils. So I hope that helped you be wakeful and mindful with clarity and relaxed, because that is the goal, isn't it? To be relaxed. When we can be relaxed, then we can be more creative and be able to focus and be very, very clear on what we're doing. We want to let you all know that today I'm giving you a special offer on my book. It's $15, regular $18.95. And this book is very important because it teaches you how to use essential oils safely and effectively. It gives you a lot of different health indications from A to Z. And it also talks about how to use flower essences with aromatherapy, how to use essential oils with Chinese herbs, how to use essential oils with reflexology, and all these things that we're teaching in our common sense community too. So please make sure that you get this book. We're getting ready for the holidays. And so this is like our whatever you call Black Friday special that we're offering to you. So we want to make sure that you guys you can get the book out and give it to your friends as nice gifts. And you can always choose some essential oils or flower essences to give with my book as a nice gift to others. So, what is a flower essence? And remember now, we're going to have a quiz. So, we're going to be talking about what is a flower essence, the symptoms, all the stuff. So, make sure that you're writing these down so you can win a book. What is a flower essence? A flower essence is the vital energies from the inside of roots, such as vetiver. And how many know a essential oil that comes from seeds? Write it down in the chat. Essential oils that come from plants, such as lavender, grasses such as lemongrass and citronella, flowers, roses, jasmine, neroli, resins, frankincense and myrrh, trees, sandalwood, cedar, pine, fruits, orange, lemon, lavender, I'm not orange, lemon, lime, and mandarin. Each essential oil has different chemical constituents and they are lipophilic. So, this is why they love carrier oils like almond and apricot and calophyllum. These chemical constituents of these essential oils have many different properties. They're antiviral, anti infectious, soothing, calming, cooling, stimulating, energizing. They are expectorants and analgesic, and much more. These healing energies are used in the practice of aromatherapy for physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual healing. And here's a little cute picture of Zoe when she was quite a bit younger with Joelle, who always was helping us cut the plants and domain to cast to you. And Zoe right now is at an internship at a vegetable farm. So that's the reason why she couldn't be with Ruth and I today. So, what are the essential oils to help you be clear and focused? We have the wonderful, vibrant grapefruit, huh? Just when you take a deep breath of grapefruit, it just opens you up and you feel confident and clear and not depressed, right? Because that's what it's for, is to help you feel confident. Then we have lavender, which helps you when you suffer from irritation and frustration, stress, tension, emotional violence, shock, and trauma. It's so soothing and calming. And it's what helped my son stop stuttering. At the age of 9, he stopped stuttering and been stuttering since the age of 4. So we just thought that was wonderful. And we just started developing our own line of products. And it developed into what I'm doing today. Rosemary helps you when you're feeling sluggish, you have mental fatigue, poor memory, mental strain, nerve tonic. It's a brain stimulant. It's for depression, apathy, and it's uplifting. And there's all kinds of studies done on rosemary and how it helps with memory. It also helps with getting your sense of smell back. So if you've had COVID and you lost your sense of smell, work with rosemary. It's one of the best ones to use. What are the essential oils to help you be clear and focused? Basil is another one. I love basil. How many of you have ever used basil that is high in linalool? How many of you have ever used basil? I always remember basil like this: basil B for brain. It helps when you're mentally fatigued, anxious, depressed, confused, fearful, and experiencing memory loss. So this is the reason why I love basil so much, and I always think of it for the brain. And remember, basil, tarragon, all those essential oils in the ether family, they have that licorice smell, huh? They all uplift you. They all get you going again. Yes, and we have someone saying that they use basil. Wonderful. Remember, the more you comment and when you answer the quiz, the more likely you are to get a book. Oh, great. Marie uses it too. Super. Terry and Marie say they use it. How many of you guys use vetiver? It's such a nice, it's very deep. It has a very special smell, doesn't it? Vetiver does. And because it comes from a root, and here, as you see in this photo, this is where they are taking the root of the vetiver to then distill it. And this was a picture that my husband took in Madagascar when he was there, when they had their farm in Madagascar. So vetiver, it's like the root. It's grounded, and that's what it does. It grounds you and gets you in your body. And what do we talk about? Embodiment, right? It helps when you feel isolated, frustrated, hostile, angry, not stable, and ungrounded. Then we have peppermint essential oil, which some of you smelt and really enjoyed while you did the. Oh, great. Yes, we have people saying they use vetiver. And Teresa says she grows lots of basil plants. Yes, there's so many different kinds of basil. This one is the chemotype linalool. So it's the safer one to use. And of course, we have our beautiful peppermint. Helps you when you are mentally fatigued, helps with shock. There we go again with trauma, huh? Helplessness, overwork, sluggishness, lethargy, apathy, depression, and anxiety. So let's look at our olfaction healing with these essential oils. Disembodiment, vetiver, connects us to the earth and brings vital energy right through that sacrum. So right from your feet, through your legs, up through your sacrum, up your spine, up to the top of your skull. That's how vetiver, it grounds you, keeps you on the ground. You can say, I'm so sometimes some people are so highly minded, they're no earthly good. Well, vetiver makes you earthly good. It gets you grounded in your body. So there's many different ways. We're going to show you two ways today. Great question, Deborah, of how vetiver, how can you apply it? So applying vetiver, you use vetiver in small amounts because it's very powerful. It's very earthy smelling. So a lot of people don't like the smell by itself, and some people absolutely love it by themselves. And we're going to do a case study on that today and show you how it's used singly for exactly that. And we're going to show you also in our formulation today how to use it. So then we have lavender, helps you to relieve shock, trauma, anxiety, and nervous tension. So that's what it does. It helps you let go of the shock and the trauma, the anxiety, and the nervous tension because it's very high in linalool and linalool acetate. And those are the two chemical constituents in it that help relax you, stabilize you. Now let's look at our olfaction healing through the Lori method for when you are confused. We have grapefruit, which relieves stress and tension when the mind is cluttered. Again, that fresh, when you cut open a grapefruit, you have that fresh smell coming out of it, and it just helps you let go of that stress and tension, doesn't it? Because it's high in D-limonene, and limonene helps you let go of things emotionally. Peppermint is refreshing and cools the mind and the body. So it cools you down when you are feeling so confused and frustrated. Lavender relaxes the mind and the body, and basil activates the brain so it can get going and be clear. So this helps us, these four together help us with relaxation and clarity in our formulation. The next one we have is distraction, when we're distracted. And we have lavender, which comforts your mind when you're distracted. Peppermint clears the mind and improves your digestion. and rosemary ignites the mind and nervous system. So we can be attentive to our tasks and our goals. And finally, for the fourth situation, fourth factor that causes us not to be clear and focused, which is sluggishness. Grapefruit, feeling uplifted and invigorated. Basil, feeling vitalized and motivated to use our brain power. Peppermint stimulates the brain and the mind system. Lavender, feeling mentally calm and able to think clearly. Rosemary, feeling able to remember, learn, and retain information. And vetiver, feeling grounded with energy. And this, put all these together, all six of these together, and you have a formulation to be clear and focused. And we're going to check out our case study of Natalie's where she is using vetiver. So I'm going to stop sharing this and we are going to share. Thank you guys for all being on with us. We really appreciate that, you being here with us today. And I am going to share. Well, okay, here we go. All right, can you guys see this? This is Natalie, who is now a certified aromatherapist from our school. And she using vetiver essential oil for mental focus. The client is a 35-year-old woman who teaches high school English. She is healthy and does not take any medication. She gets up at 5 a.m. and returns home at 4 or 5 p.m. and sometimes later. The client teaches full-time, 3 classes out of 4. Her day with student ends at 2:40. After that time, it is her preparation time during which she corrects students' work and she plans for the next day, short and long-term assignments. She gets very tired after 2:40 p.m. and finds it difficult to keep working. The client gets very frustrated as she knows she must correct essays, but most of the time she cannot. See, here we go. Her fatigue and lack of focus are becoming unmanageable. Drinking coffee all day creates digestive issues, and the client does not want to drink sodas either. She's looking for a natural solution to deal with her fatigue and lack of mental concentration. And again, this is something that we're teaching in our school. We're really teaching our students how to work with their clients holistically. And you will see this in Natalie's case study. So she chose one essential oil, one single essential oil, and that's vetiver. And the country of origin is Haiti or Madagascar, like I showed you in the picture before. Precautions: possible skin sensitivity, keep out of reach of children. If pregnant or under doctor's care, consult your physician. Avoid contact with ears, eyes, inner ears, and sensitive areas. So the client uses the essential oil vetiver. She places it in one hand and rubs her hands together, is what she did. So this is another way to do it. And the client liked it. She liked that. So this is the reason why she did this with her. And she didn't have any skin problems with it. She did a patch test on her before. So she took it and then she cupped her hands and she smelled the vetiver a few times. The client inhales it around 3 p.m. after the students are all gone for the day. The other options for part of her treatment were the client drinking Solstick energy drink once a day and practicing these 2 yoga movements, the bear claws and open heart with positive affirmation twice a day. So this is something that we teach in our emotional healing class, and Natalie was part of that. All of our students, we want them to participate that, and Natalie took our 3-day class in it. And in fact, Natalie's took probably almost all of our classes that we've ever taught. She also showed the client how to test her body through muscle testing. However, she rarely uses this part of the treatment. And we also teach muscle testing. So you can see how she was utilizing all the things that she had used through the Lori method. So here's her rationale. The essential oil vetiver, also known as crus or crus, is the single oil used by the client. She wanted an easy solution, so we decided to keep it to one oil application if possible. The aroma is herbaceous and woody. The client liked the scent and agreed to use it. Vetiver is also known as the oil of tranquility and has a fragrance of its own for which no synthetic substitute is available. The chemical constituents for vetiver are alpha vetirol, and B-vetirol. These are sesquiterpenes known to be stabilizing and calming to the nervous systems. Studies have shown the refreshing properties were shown to increase brain activity and alertness. Vetiver essential oil inhalation significantly increased total waking and reduced slow wave sleep time. They keep steady the nerves and make you feel that you're on an even keel, going from feeling on a rocky boat to standing on solid ground. There again, she's talking about those grounding properties of vetiver and being really in her body. Since the client needs more grounding after an entire day of teaching, it seems that vetiver's qualities are aligned with her needs. The other chemical constituents are alpha vetivone and cushimone. These are sesquiterpene ketones known to be energizing and uplifting. In folklore medicine, vetiver has been used in the treatment of emotional symptoms. In modern scientific studies, it was claimed to reduce oxidative stress according to its antioxidant and scavenging activities, and the refreshing action of vetiver were detected immediately after the inhalation started and persisted at least 1 hour. Vetiver cannot be taken internally. Therefore, the client inhales it by applying 1 or 2 drops in the palm of her hand, rubs them together, and inhales the cupped hands. Okay, so that's how she used vetiver. Now, she also had other options, which we find is very important, that we're seeing the client as a whole. So you'll learn this also in the flower essence course, as well as in our aromatherapy certification program. She used a natural citrus flavor Soul Stick energy mix. The client kept an open mind to improve her level of hydration. She started to drink a natural citrus flavor of Solstice energy mix with 4 to 16 ounces of cold water. It's known to reduce physical fatigue, increase mental clarity and focus. It provides energy for daily tasks, increase stamina, and replaces electrolytes lost through stress. Soul Stick Revive replaces vital nutrients, including calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium, lost during stress, exertion, dehydration, and malnutrition. Revive is perfect for before, during, after any strenuous activity or refreshing beverage anytime through the day. It contains 500 milligrams of glucosamine per serving to help support joint and cartilage health, electrolytes essential for hydration, nerve and muscle function, and proper pH levels, and also amino acids, which increase endurance, aid general rebuilding, and offer muscle and structural support. B vitamins, which help produce energy, metabolize fats, proteins, and lastly, it benefits the nervous system. And of course, it does with all those beautiful B vitamins. Now, also with the muscle testing, which she learned in our course, and she took also as a separate module. In behavioral kinesiology, it is known that the thymus gland monitors and regulates energy flow in the meridian system. So the client could clear her polarity to reset her energy and to create a better flow in the body. After teaching all day, she can activate the thymus and get the energy life energy to flow again with ease. The aromatherapist demonstrated how to increase her life energy and also referred to her to a YouTube video so the client could review this new practice. Then she also taught her how to do bear claws and open heart movements, which we teach in our emotional healing class. And she showed her how to do those. And she also, positive affirmations would be added with the movements to welcome a renewal for the nervous system and her emotional state. For example, a positive affirmation for nurturing yourself could look like this: I balance my life between work, rest, and play. I make healthy choices. I have respect for myself. Another solution to wellness with movement is Kundalini Yoga. It includes chanting the mantra sounds with repetitive finger movements and visualization. Kundalini Yoga is designed to be balancing, uplifting. It's been studied for its effects on mild cognitive impairment and showed to be effective in increasing cognitive and emotional functioning. A mix of body movement with a mind connection seems more powerful than a mind-only oriented practice. The secular practice can be adapted to several lengths for 11 minutes or 32 minutes. So she also taught her those different exercises that we do in our course. Results and discussion. The client experienced some improvement for ability to focus after teaching all day. The application of vetiver essential oil was easy to use. She noticed how much better she felt after inhaling the drops from her hands. She observed that she could work nonstop from 3 p.m. to 5, which is a great improvement. The client loves how she gets all the students' work corrected and enters the grades in the computer. She keeps a bottle of vetiver on campus to make sure it's available at all times. The inhalation brings on a rapid response to the limbic system. Focus is felt within a few seconds. The client also drinks the energy stick around 3 p.m. She noticed that it's very refreshing. She understands that staying hydrated is important to stay focused. She loves the citrus flavor. She plans on keeping a box on campus, another at home to assure daily consumption. The client did not use the muscle testing as she does not have any privacy on campus. She felt self-conscious since it is new to her. She decided to practice before she goes to bed. The client liked the arm movements with the open heart and bare claws as she felt less tension afterwards. The positive affirmations gave her some personal power. She decided to add them in the morning before breakfast. Now she understands that the combined actions of the body and mind are beneficial to the nervous system. The client did not investigate Kundalini Yoga any further. She just moved to a new home and neighborhood, but keeps an open mind about eventually finding a yoga studio nearby. She understands the power of the mind-body connection and will explore it later. In conclusion, the client's very happy to have access to different tools that are easy to manage, natural, and efficient. She established a good routine over the entire day by implementing the wellness tools from morning to midday to afternoon and finally evening. She set her phone's alarm to remind her of her daily routine to ensure a long-term commitment. The client agreed to have a phone consultation once a week and a face-to-face once a month. By keeping in touch, we can solve possible issues or concerns that would interfere with the consistency of her practice. And this is something that we teach in our flower essence course and our aromatherapy course, is to keep in contact with your clients. Follow up with them. That way they feel supported. And you decide between you how you guys want to do that. Over time, I think I would consider some modifications connected to her diet and show her how deep breaths are also powerful practical tools to lessen the impact of fear and regulates emotional health. And then here are all of her references. I mean, what a great case study. Natalie did a great job. Okay. So make sure you write your questions if anybody has any questions about Natalie's case study. So let's now go back to our information and let's really look at how Natalie, can you guys see the screen? No, you can't. So let me just take it down. I don't think you guys can see my screen yet. Yeah, she did an awesome job, didn't she? And the client felt better and she really looked at her holistically. Great job that she did. Okay. So we can see how she connected olfactory therapy, essential oils, movement, and in those different moves in the bear claws, there is a breathing, but it's not deep breathing. So that's what she was talking about. Her formulation she made. And by doing those different movements, how they connected the bodies, and then also how vetiver, the essential oil, connected all the bodies. Because remember, it grounds you. So it's going through your feet, up through your spine, up and back down. So it's grounding you and it's connecting all your bodies, your emotional, mental, and physical bodies. That was a great case study. So now let's go to our formulation. And then after that, we're going to have our quiz. See how many of you guys will get a book. And just think, if you already have the book, you can give it as a gift because we want to send it out to you. All right, so for our clarity and focus formulation, we have 4 drops of Media, 4 drops of peppermint, 4 drops of rabbit brush, 4 drops chamomile flower essence, 4 drops cosmos, 4 drops self heal, 4 drops of rosemary. Those are all the flower essences. Then we have 10 drops of grapefruit, so it can be very refreshing and open up their minds. 7 drops of lavender for its calming and stabilizing properties, 4 drops of rosemary to help you open your mind, be clear, but also really, be there in your body too. Because remember, we've got our rosemary flower essence. So the two of them together really help you incarnate into your body. 4 drops of basil CT linalool. And this, remember, what is basil for? B basil for what? And now can you see me? Yes, you can see the screen now, I hope. Brain, that's right, Terry. Good job. Basil for brain. Good job. And then we have 4 drops of peppermint. Again, it's that refreshing, uplifting, cooling, also helps with metabolism along with the flower essence of peppermint here. So we've got rosemary flower essence and rosemary essential oil and peppermint flower essence and peppermint essential oil. And then 1 drop of vetiver to ground you, to really ground you. And we're going to use it in 1 ounce of apricot oil in a 1 ounce amber bottle with a cap. So you're going to take your flower essences, you're going to put 4 drops of each one of your flower essences into your amber bottle, add your essential oil drops in there, then add your apricot oil, put on the cap, and you're going to roll that bottle between your hands to mix the ingredients thoroughly. Then you're going to apply it to your temples, the back of your neck, your heart, your solar plexus, and your large intestines. And then you also can do it on your hands. And you can use my book to find those reflex points on your hands. Contraindications: do not use in pregnancy or with children under 3 years of age. Use flower essences with pregnant women and small children. And to find out more about these essential oils, you can check out my book, A Practical Guide to Aromatherapy. All right. Did everyone get that recipe written down? Let me go back here. Make sure you guys all got that written down. And we'll also, be sending you the slides and the recording. So now let's look at becoming a flower essence practitioner. How many of you would like to become a flower essence practitioner or take the flower essence course? This is something that, like I said before, you can read the book and you can find out about flower essence and start using them. However, really to know how to work with them, you need the course and to really make them properly, which you will learn in our flower essence practicum, our 3-day practicum. So you're going to learn what is a flower essence, how do they work, the history of flower essences, understand the archetypes of flower essences, and find yours. So you're going to get your type essence in this class, and you're going to understand why that's so important and study the unique characteristics of flower essences. So you're going to learn a lot more than, just what we wrote today. There's polarities on flower essences. There's a lot more to it. How to make a flower essence, how to select flower essences and combine them, and how to do that for different populations, for children, for animals, for the elderly, for teenagers. Different selecting techniques. How is it that you can use like muscle testing or other techniques to find out what the client needs? How to use flower essences with essential oils. Of course, we're going to teach that also. So if you just want to take the course, you don't want to be a flower essence practitioner, we have 8 modules with PDF files, course notes, videos, weekly group coaching calls, and each participant will also have an individual flower essence session with me. And our registration is open now, and you can book it with us. You can do it. If you do it now, it's for a full payment, it's $997, 3 payments of $355, and 6 payments, which need to be paid off by May by the retreat, is $178. And excuse me, this is supposed to be $400 and some dollars here. I just made a mistake. Sign up ASP and get the flower essence practicum and retreat as a gift. Okay. This is only offered once a year. And if you sign up now, and we're only going to let 10 people have the practicum. So you need to sign up as soon as possible. The other reason we're suggesting that you sign up as soon as possible is because the Flower Essence Society yesterday sent out, they're having their annual sale, and it's a big sale, and you can get all of the things that you need, and we'll send you the supply list, and that way you get all the things that you need and get them ordered and save a bunch of money. Okay, so this is the reason why we want you to get signed up now too, and also to get, those 10 places can go quick. So you can get the practicum. Now, if you want to be a flower essence practitioner, it's longer and you have to do case studies. So this is where you're going to receive client skills and ethics. You're going to learn new techniques to find out what your client needs. You're going to develop your intuition more. And you're going to conduct 3 case studies. You're going to expand your practice to accompany clients with emotional healing through the power of flower essences. And this is a 10-week course. All courses, they start off together on February 21st. There's 10 modules though with this one, and there's 8 with the other. This one, you also get an individual call with me, and you get a curriculum call with Sue, our curriculum manager. So that way you understand how to do your case studies. 3 case studies, you have full online support. The investment is $1,497. You have or you can do 3 payments of $502 or 6 payments of $266. If you sign up ASP and you're one of the first 10 people, you get the practicum, which is a $500 gift. And here we've, like I said, and it's only offered once a year. Now, it's a $440 gift. We've made a mistake on the slides. But the first 10 people to sign up for the Flower Essence Practitioner course or the Flower Essence class, you will get the retreat as a bonus. Now, we had a fantastic time. As you see, here's all of our students here. And it was great. You will find out what flower resonates with you there. You will talk about it, learn about it. As you see here, here's a drawing of one of the flowers that one of our students did. You have organic meals. I make all the food. It's all organic for you. We will have it in Bakersfield, California. At my house, the class will be. You will need to find a Airbnb in my neighborhood or stay in the hotel, which is walking distance. That's what everybody did, and it worked out great that way. We will also make a group flower essence, which you will get that flower essence. I send it home with you because we make it during the class. So you learn how to do it. Also, we learned different client skills. We showed you how to sit down and have a consultation. If you can't make the retreat, then what I do is I offer you some classes afterwards that were included in the retreat. So that's what I did last year is we had 2 more classes for the ones who couldn't come to the retreat. And we did that for them so that way then they would have the information. So if you can't come to the retreat, it's not a problem whatsoever. So we'd absolutely love to have you. It was a fantastic time. Everybody figured out their own flower essence, their type, and we had a beautiful garden tour with my neighbor. As you see, this is his garden here. As you see, Yolanda is looking here at tiger lilies there that he had. He gave us a tour. And we also do a sound bath. And we also, this next time, will have some special entertainment. And then we'll have our previous students. We hope our previous students will come and they will give their case study so you can learn from them. All right. We can't wait to have all of you guys there with us. It's so much fun. So here is our quiz. Make sure, because Ruth is going to pick the people who have got the most answers correct and have been participating. So what are the symptoms of not being clear or focused? What are the 4 signs of not being focused? What are the factors that could be contributing to you not being clear and focused? Which flower essences do you use to help with disembodiment? What flower essences keep you calm and clear? Which flower essence helps when you are distracted, inability to concentrate, focus, and scattered? And what 7 flower essences work for focus and clarity? So our first question is, what are the symptoms of being clear or focused? Put it in the comments for Ruth. Put it in the comments. What are the symptoms of not being clear or focused? Because I can't see the comments as you're typing them. Ruth has to send them to me due to us having the quiz. All right. So I'm sure you guys are saying it to Ruth right now. And I'm going to give our answer here. Being unable to remember things that occurred a short time ago, difficulty sitting still, difficulty thinking clearly, frequently losing things or having difficulty remembering where things are, inability to make decisions, inability to perform complicated tasks, lack of focus, lacking physical or mental energy to concentrate, making careless mistakes, harder to concentrate at certain times of day in certain settings. Others may comment that you appear distracted, miss appointments or meetings because of lack of focus, feel like you are in a fog, which is called brain fog. Okay, so it looks like Ruth has some here. Okay. Teresa, that is good. That is part of all of this. Disembodied, confused, distracted, and sluggish. Yes, that is part of all of this too. And then, yes, Sherry has a great question about being certified. Yes, you can do the regular class, the 8-week class, and not do the practitioner. But if you want, then you can come back and be a practitioner. You can come back the next year and do the practitioner part of it, where you have the next two case studies. I mean, the next two modules, and then you have your 3 case studies. Yes, you can. It can be an add-on. Exactly. Maria think lack of vitamin D. Terry says fuzzy thinking. Deborah says inattention, unable to do regular chores. And Terry said losing things. Good job, you guys. What are the 4 signs of not being focused? And Teresa already answered this. She gets this one right. Good job. Good job, all of you. So who else is going to write it down? Because Teresa's got it. I'm waiting patiently. Distraction. Yes, AJ, good job. That's one of them. Okay. It looks like we've got it here. So, disembodied, confused, distracted, and sluggishness. Next question. What are the factors that could be contributing to you not being clear and focused? Maria says fatigue. Terry says depression. And Terry says ADHD. Prenatal risks such as alcohol, smoking, and substances, including both parents, birth trauma, C-sections, head injuries, childhood trauma, post-traumatic syndrome, lead and other pollutants, genetics, nutritional deficiency, gut health, substance abuse, and pharmaceutical medications. And what is a flower essence? And Deborah also said, not grounded, easily distracted, mind wandering, and may have brain fog. Good job, you guys. And AJ said inability to focus on details and sluggishness. Good job. You guys really have those 4 signs of not being focused. Terry said general anxiety disorder, PTSD, and Deborah says gut health. Good job, you guys. What is a flower essence? Now tell us, what is a flower essence? And Teresa said nutritional deficiency. And that's all in there. Good job. Now, what is a flower essence? Flower essences are liquid, potentized preparations, each carrying a distinct imprint of the character of a particular flower. Yep, Teresa got it. Liquid preparation with distinct character of the flower. Good job. Deborah said energy or the soul of the plant. Yes, that is good too. Maria said body energy, vibration energy of the plant. Good job. And then AJ was answering another one and said genetics. And Terry was answering the question before too with birth. Good job, you guys. Which flower essences do you use to help with disembodiment? Which flower essences did we use in our Lori method there for disembodiment? I talked a lot about one of them. Has a bluish purple flower. Deborah says peppermint, chamomile, basil, and madia. Okay. See what everybody else says. Teresa says rosemary and chamomile. Okay. So let's see. It's chamomile and rosemary. Maria said lavender, pine, orange, lime. And Deborah said chamomile and lavender. Okay. So the answer is chamomile and rosemary. Those two help you stay in your body. What does chamomile do? It helps you when you're moody and you're frustrated and you're having problems in your stomach and solar plexus. And rosemary helps you incarnate, stay in your body, be there. Good job, you guys. Next one. What flower essences help you keep you calm and clear? Lavender, AJ says. Good job, AJ. So, chamomile, peppermint, and rosemary help you stay calm and clear. And yes, Sherry wants to be in the course for $997. And she said, and yes, you will qualify for the bonus. And we will send you the link, and I will send you a link for the 30-minute talk too. Thank you so much, Sherry. We're so excited to have you in the class with us. Teresa said peppermint. Maria said basil, tarragon, and Deborah said lavender and rosemary. Good job, you guys. Keep it up. Keep answering. So, which flower essences helps when you're distracted and you have inability to concentrate and focus? You're scattered. And thank you so much, Sherry. We're very excited to have you in our class. If anybody else wants to be on it, make sure you get signed up because the first 10 people are the only ones who get it. Rosemary, AJ says, when you're distracted, inability to concentrate and focus, and scattered. Okay. It's one flower essence. It's one. It's not flower essences. It's which flower essence. So I picked one when I made this question. Which one is it? Which flower was the one I talked about that the petals of it are kind of separated? It's yellow, and then it's got flowerets in the center of it, and at the end of the petal you've got this kind of orangey red color, and it makes you focus in. What flower essence is that one? Which one is it? It's one flower essence. Media. That's right, Teresa. Media. That is the correct answer. Good job, Teresa. Okay. What 7 flower essences work for focus and clarity? So I need you to name all the flower essences that I talked about. Need you to mark them down for Ruth in the comments. What 7 flower essences work for focus and clarity? Now we're talking flower essences, not essential oils. We'll have the next part of our quiz will be about the essential oil part. This is about the the factors, the symptoms, the 4 signs, and flower essences. And then the next part of our quiz will be about the essential oils. So keep that straight. Okay. AJ says rosemary, not vetiver. Vetiver is not a flower essence. Vetiver is an essential oil. We're talking flower essences, not essential oils. So rosemary flower essence, yes. What other ones was in our whole group? All the flower essences, not essential oils. Teresa, Media, Peppermint, Rabbit Brush, Chamomile, and Cosmos. Okay. And then rosemary was what AJ said. So there we've got 6. Deborah says Media, Chamomile, Lavender, Peppermint, Rosemary, and Cosmos. Not basil. Basil is not a flower essence in this one. Basil, we only use it as an essential oil, but good job. And then Teresa said, plus self heal and rosemary. Good job, you guys. Great. Media, Rabbit Brush, Self Heal, Peppermint, Chamomile, Rosemary, and Cosmos. And Maria said lavender, orange, lemon, mandarin. Okay, great. Now, those are more essential oils. Those aren't flower essences. So make sure you keep that clear. Okay. Essential oils are different than flower essences. So Maria and AJ, you guys are talking more about essential oils now. And now we're going to talk about essential oils, okay? Because you guys have been answering more essential oils. What is an essential oil? Which essential oils are stabilizing and grounding? What 4 essential oils help when you're confused? What essential oils help you to be attentive to tasks and goals? What are the 6 essential oils that help you when you're sluggish? What essential oil did Natalie use to help her client with focus? And what other healing modalities did Natalie use in her case study for focus? So let's go to our first question. What is an essential oil? What is an essential oil? While you're doing that, figuring out what is an essential oil, and Ruth is sending it to me, I want to talk again about the flower essence course. Just like what was Sharon asked before, yes, you can take just the course, and then if you want, you can do an add-on the next year, and you can take the rest of the practitioner course, and you will get the practicum too. If you want the practicum, you'll get the practicum. But remember, it's only the first 10 students who sign up for the class who get the flower essence practicum without paying for it as a bonus. So make sure. So we've already got Sharon. She signed up. She's signing up. We'll send her all the information after this class, and anybody else too. So if you need to get signed up as soon as possible, that way you'll have the practicum as a bonus, because that's $440. All right, so let's go here. Teresa says, vital energies of roots, flowers, grasses, resins, plants, trees, fruits, and peels. Deborah said the energy of a plant, and Maria says they help calm the nervous system. So yes, they are the vital energies from inside of roots such as vetiver, seeds, cardamom, plants, lavender, grasses, lemongrass, flower, roses, resin, frankincense, trees, pine, sandalwood, fruits such as mandarin, lime, orange, bergamot. Next question. Which essential oils are stabilizing and grounding? Remember, there was two. There was two essential oils that were stabilizing and grounding. Uh, Terry's asked, what is the cost of the course without the case studies? It's $997 is what it is, or you have the two payment plans, the 3-month payment plan or the 6-month payment plan. It's $997. So if you get signed up today, you will then get the list of products that you'll need to order from the Flower Essence services. And you also then will have the practicum as a bonus, which is a $440 bonus. That includes your lunches. And AJ said, concentrated plant extracts that retain the natural smell and flavor of their source. Very nice. And AJ is working in our Flower Essence Practitioner course, doing a great job, and she's on answering the questions. Good job, AJ. Teresa said vetiver. There's one other one. Deborah says lavender and peppermint. Okay, between Teresa and Deborah, we've got the answer for stabilizing. Remember, grounding. Which essential oil is very grounding? I want you guys to remember this after you have listened to Natalie's case study and after all what I said. Which one is grounding? It is vetiver. It's lavender is stabilizing and vetiver is grounding. Next question. What 4 essential oils help when you are confused? What 4 essential oils help when you are confused? Good job, AJ. She got the other question. Perfect. Lavender and vetiver. So, what 4 essential oils help when you are confused? It looks like we're going to be getting some more signups. We have not put this out to our email yet. So, if you get signed up today, you will have a chance. So, Teresa said grapefruit, peppermint, lavender, and basil. Okay, so far, Teresa. Maria says rosemary. Okay, good job. Good job, Teresa and Maria. We'll see. Deborah says rosemary, basil, and peppermint. Okay. You guys are doing good. Let's see. All right, here it is. Grapefruit, lavender, basil, and peppermint. Good job, you guys. Good job. All right. Now, what essential oils help you to be attentive to tasks and goals? Good job, AJ. You got them all correct. Lavender, basil, grapefruit, and peppermint. What essential oils help you to be attentive to tasks and goals? Mm-mm-mm. Let's see here. So, yes, make sure you get signed up because we're going to send it out to our email list. And we have quite a large email list. So, the class, it should fill up very quickly. And this is why anybody who participated in the class, we wanted to give you guys first dibs at having that bonus coming to our Flower Essence Practicum and Retreat. And like AJ put, she sent hearts and happy faces and 100% it was great. Okay, so Maria said basil and Deborah said peppermint, vetiver, basil, and rosemary. So let's look here. Rosemary, peppermint, and grapefruit. Good job, you guys. Good job. Okay, next one. What are the 6 essential oils that help when you feel sluggish? So, what are all 6 essential oils that help when you feel sluggish? Name those. And then Ruth is going to draw our winners out here. Teresa said lavender, grapefruit, basil, rosemary, and peppermint. Just one more, Teresa. Good job. Deborah says peppermint, grapefruit, rosemary, and basil. 2 more. Deborah, 2 more. Maria says peppermint, lavender, rosemary, and tarragon. Well, you could say basil for tarragon, Maria. Good job. Good try. You guys are all doing an excellent job. Looks like you're going to get a book, huh? All right, so let's go to the next one here. So we've got our answer is rosemary, basil, grapefruit, lavender, peppermint, and vetiver. Good job. Now, next question. What essential oil did Natalie use to help her client with focus? What essential oil? Oh, good job, AJ. Lavender, rosemary, vetiver, grapefruit, basil, and peppermint. You guys are doing so well. So proud of you. You are focusing your attention and you are concentrating. It's awesome to see that. Keep it up. Vetiver, Deborah said. Remember how grounding that was for her client who was the teacher, huh? So the answer is vetiver. Next question, final question. What other healing modalities did Natalie use in her case study for focus? What other healing modalities did Natalie use in her case study for focus? Yeah, and I made some really nice food. Everybody enjoyed the food, and we had good lunches together. So you'll have 3 lunches and 1 dinner that I supply for you during the retreat. And then you'll need to also get your because there's only so many houses around me that have Airbnb, and we have one catty corner. And last year, Betty and AJ and Dawn, they all had that one. Deborah said movements and muscle testing. Correct. Good job, Deborah. Okay. So breathing, yoga, and nutrition. And good job, Teresa. Teresa said muscle testing, yoga, herbal energy drink. Yes. So good job. You guys did a good job. I didn't put the muscle testing in here. So good for you. You're good listeners. You did a good job. All right. So let's go to any questions. So I'm going to go back here through the questions that Ruth sent me earlier. And let me see here. Here's all your answers. Sherry said, yes, she's interested in and wanted to know if she would still get the bonus. Yes, I answered that one. I go up here further, way further. Terry had a question way up here. I know she did. I saw it earlier. Oh, do you have to be careful using lavender for men? No, no. There's no problem using lavender for men. And then Deborah said, some people say vetiver is protective. How is that applied? If I was going to use vetiver as a protective type of oil, I would put it in a spray with like orange or juniper, you know, and I would spray it around me, is what I would do. That's how I would do it. Or you could just, put it a very small amount of it, like 6 drops to 1 ounce of carrier oil, and you 6. Let me see, 1 ounce of carrier oil, like apricot or almond, and then 6 drops of vetiver in that. Roll it between your hands, and you could put on a roller ball and put it on your main points here, like on your back of your neck, your wrist, your chest, your heart, and that would be very protective too. Okay, good questions. And Ruth is saying I use cook for the cooking. She uses that. She uses basil for cooking, basil essential oil. And then Terry asked if there's a direct link to the music. And yes, there is. We will send that to you. You couldn't hear it well. And let's go on up here. Okay, I think I covered all the questions unless Ruth has some new ones for me down here. Oh, yeah, here's Ruth's got some. Here we go. Okay, are you going to cover more blends with essential oils and flower essence and other modalities? Uh, this question is for the flower essence course. In the flower essence course, we will go through 38 flower essences from Dr. Bach, and we will go through 12. It's 12 of the ones from the flower essence services, the California essences. Yes, there will be blends and things like that too. Definitely. You can get these flower essences from California, from Flower Essence Services. And Ruth can put that in there. It's www.fesflowers.com is where you can order them. And yes, can you suggest some remedies and oils that we can stock at home for use as go-tos? Well, I would always suggest lavender, tea tree, lemon, peppermint, thyme. I would say sweet thyme, which is Thymus vulgaris, linalool, rosemary. I always like to have one of the resins like frankincense or myrrh, and lemon or orange, like I said before. Those are the main ones that I think that you need to have. And of course, I always have helichrysum. Those are the ones I use all the time. And then as far, those are the oils I use. When is the retreat? The retreat is May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and it will be in Bakersfield, California. So you need to fly, say, like, I'll give an example. AJ and Dawn flew from Georgia last year. They flew from the closest airport into Dallas and then straight to Bakersfield. So there's ways to fly in directly into Bakersfield. And you can just take an Uber then, or a Lyft or a taxi to your designated area that you're going, either your Airbnb or your hotel. Yeah, we will send you a hotel for the accommodation, and then you'll have to go on Airbnb because we can't give you. I mean, I can give you. I have a couple of my neighbors that have those, so I could give you their direct contact. That way, you don't have to go through Airbnb. Too, I could do that for you too. And then here is, what would you suggest if someone is experiencing being hyper all the time, say for a child? I would have the child smell these different essential oils and see which ones rev them up and which ones slow them down. And then I would have them sniff it, or just, depending on the age of the child, see if you can make a blend for them, if they prefer just one like lavender or if it's peppermint. Sometimes when people are ADHD, you think lavender is going to work, but it's peppermint that works better. You have to let them smell it. Their body will know what they need. And you can do a roller ball for them to roll on their little wrist, or have them smell it out of the bottle, before they go to school. And if they're allowed to carry something like that, if they're old enough, they can do a roller ball when they start feeling hyper or stressed. Then they can put that on their wrist or behind the neck. If you have someone, if you have someone who is overwhelmed, then that's when you want to use peppermint essential oil. You want to use this blend that we have. And then also, if it's from trauma, I would suggest they use Rescue Remedy or Distress Remedy or 5-Flower Remedy. All of those 3 different formulations work on stress and trauma. Okay. And yes, you could use a hydrosol on a child too, if you don't want to use essential oils, especially with children under 2. You could use a hydrosol of lavender or peppermint, or chamomile, to calm them. But again, you're going to have to let the kids smell it, because the kid will know. Children, they'll push the things away they don't like. You could use neroli because it's very stabilizing. It's the orange blossom hydrosol. You could use rose and it could calm them. It's just like one of our students in Common Sense. She said she had this little boy who had been adopted. He had been born in Bulgaria. And as soon as he smelled, and she says he was like a Tasmanian devil in her office. He was just everywhere. And the parents could not get him to calm down until she let him sniff rose from Bulgaria, and he calmed right down, and it changed his whole attitude, and it changed the whole way he was with his adoptive parents because it drew him back to where he came from. And yes, you can always use elm for overwhelm. Now, if it, because that's what it is, elm for overwhelm. It depends on the situation though. If it's from trauma, work with rescue remedy first. That way it can kind of help him get through it. Okay, can we get a copy of the slides? Yes. And you will watch this again. We will have it available tomorrow and we will send you an email. So watch for that email and you will go to our site. We'll have the slides and you will have the recording and you will have the link to the YouTube channel too. And if you want to share it, if you want to share this information again, you can just share it directly from our site is what you can do. You can share it from our site. And or you can share it or you can invite people into these two groups that we have here in our Facebook groups. Here's another question. Can you diffuse a blend of flower essences and essential oils? Yes, you can. You can diffuse flower essences and essential oils in your diffuser if you would like to do that. Okay, this was great having all of you. Now Ruth, I need the book winners so we can announce our book winners. Okay, here they are. Congratulations to our book winners today. Sean, Maria, Sherry, Deborah, Suzanne, Terry, Teresa, AJ. Okay. And we also have, good job, you guys. All right. So thank you all for participating. And we want you all to be able to share this information. So please look out for our email tomorrow that we'll be sending out to you. And we want to thank all of you for being here with us today. And we hope that this will help you, help someone that you know, your friends, family, or your clients, help them to have more clarity and focus, especially at this time. We all need that in our lives. So we want to thank you again. We want to send out peace and love. And make sure that you don't forget your essentials. Use your common sense. Au revoir.